Ever wandered into a place that feels like it's been plucked from a fairy tale, yet somehow more real than the world we know? That's the Czech Republic for you. A country where cobblestone streets hum with history and every corner whispers secrets from centuries past. In my 60-plus years, I've roamed plenty, but spending a week here, from Prague's golden spires to the misty hills of Bohemia, was like stepping into a painting that's still being brushed. This travel documentary isn't just about facts. It's about uncovering the soul of a place that laughs at our modern rush. The Czech Republic, or Czechia as they call it now, isn't just a destination, it's a puzzle. With over 10 million people and a history stretching back to the Holy Roman Empire. It's a land of contradictions, deeply traditional, yet quietly rebellious. The culture of Czechia hooked me, and these 15 surprising facts will hook you too. Let's peel back the layers of life in Czechia, where the cost of living is low, the beer flows like water, and the hidden gems of this Central European jewel shine brighter than you'd ever expect. Beer is cheaper than water. Can you imagine a country where ordering a pint costs less than a bottle of water? In the Czech Republic, it's not a joke, it's a way of life. The Czechs drink more beer per capita than anyone else on the planet, about 160 liters per person annually, according to 2024 stats. Walk into a Prague pub, or hospoda, and a frothy Pilsner Urquell sets you back about $1.50, while a bottle of water might cost $2. This isn't just economics. It's the culture of Czechia, where beer is practically a food group. Brewed since 993 AD in monasteries, Czech lager is a point of national pride, with Pilsen's Pilsner Urquell setting the global standard. The daily life in Prague often revolves around these dimly lit pubs, where locals debate politics or laugh over stories, pint in hand. In our world of overpriced lattes and health fads, there's something gloriously defiant about a nation that treats beer like a birthright. This travel documentary starts here, in the heart of Czechia's liquid legacy. Because if you don't taste the beer, you haven't tasted the people of Czechia. Before we dive deeper into this Czech odyssey, let me ask you to do something. If these surprising facts spark your wanderlust or make you chuckle, hit that like button. Drop a comment about what shocks you most about life in Czechia. Maybe it's the beer prices or something else coming up. And if you love uncovering the world's hidden gems, subscribe and tap that bell. It keeps this old traveler's stories alive, bringing you more from places that don't make it to Instagram's top reels. Your support fuels this travel documentary journey. So let's keep exploring together. Now, back to the Czech Republic surprises. The world's largest castle complex. Ever stood in a castle so vast it feels like a city? Prague Castle, perched above the Vltava River, isn't just big, it's the largest ancient castle complex in the world. Sprawling over 70,000 square meters, according to the Czech Tourism Authority. That's bigger than 7 football fields. Built in the 9th century, it's been home to kings, emperors, and now the president. Wander its courtyards, and you'll find Gothic spires, Renaissance halls, and Baroque gardens, each layer telling a story of power and art. The St. Vitus Cathedral inside is a jaw-dropper, with stained glass that glows like a kaleidoscope. In 2024, over 2 million tourists visited, yet it never feels crowded. The hidden gems of Prague include quiet corners of this castle, like the Golden Lane, where alchemists once toiled. Compare that to our modern skyscrapers, all glass and no soul. The life in Prague flows around this castle, a reminder that some things endure while our world chases the next big thing. This travel documentary lingers here, in a place where history doesn't just live, it breathes. A nation of atheists in a sea of churches. How does a country with churches on every corner have so few believers? The Czech Republic is one of the least religious nations on Earth, with 72% of its 10 million people identifying as atheist or agnostic, per a 2023 Gallup poll. Yet, Prague alone has over 500 churches, their spires piercing the sky like needles. From the Gothic tin church to the Baroque St. Nicholas, these buildings are masterpieces, but for most Czechs, they're museums, not sanctuaries. This paradox roots in the communist era, when religion was sidelined, but it runs deeper than skepticism baked into the culture of Czechia. The people of Czechia value reason over faith, yet they celebrate Christmas and Easter with gusto, more for tradition than devotion. In a world where dogma often divides, there's something refreshing about a nation that cherishes its holy architecture but questions the heavens. The daily life in Prague includes sipping coffee under church bells, a nod to a past that's honored but not obeyed. This travel documentary marvels at the irony, a land where spirituality is art, not obligation. The birthplace of the word robot. What if I told you the word robot was born in a Prague theater? In 1920, Czech writer Karel Čapek premiered his play Erasmus Universal Robots, coining robot from the Czech word robota, meaning forced labor. His brother Joseph suggested the term, and it stuck, shaping sci-fi and tech forever. The play, about artificial workers rebelling against humans, was a hit, performed globally by 1923. Today, the Czech Republic leans into this legacy, with Prague hosting robot-themed cafes and tech startups. In 2024, the country's tech sector employed over 300,000 people, per government data, a nod to its innovative streak. The culture of Czechia blends this forward thinking with a love for old-school crafts, like puppetry. In our AI-obsessed world, where robot is a buzzword, it's humbling to stand in Prague's old town, where the idea was born. Life in Czechia feels like a bridge between past and future, and this travel documentary celebrates that spark of imagination that changed how we dream of machines. Defenestration as a national sport. Ever heard of a country that settles disputes by throwing people out windows? The Czechs did it twice, and it's called defenestration. In 1419, a mob tossed 7 city councillors from Prague's new town hall, sparking the Hussite Wars. Then, in 1618, Protestant nobles chucked Catholic officials from Prague Castle, igniting the 30 Years' War. Both events, documented in Czech chronicles, were less about murder and more about sending a message. The 1618 victims even survived, landing in a manure pile. Today, defenestration is a quirky part of Czech identity, with Prague tours highlighting the windows in question. In 2024, over 500,000 tourists joined such tours, per Czech Tourism. The people of Czechia have a dark humor about it, joking about flying diplomats over beers. In our sanitized world, where conflicts hide behind tweets, there's something raw about a nation that once settled scores with gravity. The daily life in Prague includes passing these historic windows, a reminder of a rebellious streak that still simmers. This travel documentary chuckles at the audacity, a uniquely Czech way to say, "We're done talking." The Lennon Wall of Rebellion. Picture a wall covered in graffiti, not as vandalism but as a cry for freedom. The John Lennon Wall in Prague's Malá Strana started in the 1980s, when youths painted Lennon's face and peace slogans to defy communist rule. Located near the Charles Bridge, it became a symbol of resistance, repainted daily despite police crackdowns. By 2024, it's a tourist magnet, with 1 million visitors snapping photos, according to Prague's tourism board. The wall still evolves, layered with messages of love and protest, a living canvas. The culture of Czechia embraces this blend of art and defiance, a nod to the Velvet Revolution that toppled communism in 1989. In our world of fleeting social media posts, the Lennon wall stands firm, a physical hashtag of hope. The hidden gems of Prague include this spot, where the cost of living free is measured in courage, not cash. The people of Czechia keep it alive, adding their voices to a wall that sings of liberty. This travel documentary pauses here, where paint tells a story louder than words. A puppet theater obsession. When was the last time you saw a puppet show that wasn't for kids? In the Czech Republic, puppetry is high art, woven into the culture of Czechia since the Middle Ages. From medieval market acts to modern theaters, Czech puppeteers craft intricate marionettes, some costing $1,000 each, per 2024 Artisan reports. Beer is cheaper than water. 100,000 visitors yearly, performing classics like Don Giovanni. This isn't a child's play that tackles adult themes, blending humor and tragedy. The tradition, recognized by UNESCO, thrives in a world where Netflix reigns. In 2023, over 50 puppet festivals dotted Czechia, from Prague to small towns. The daily life in Czechia might include a craftsman carving a puppet or a family attending a show, preserving a craft that feels like magic. Compare that to our screen-addicted lives, where attention spans flicker. The people of Czechia remind us that stories can be told with strings and wood, not just pixels. This travel documentary bows to this art, a hidden gem of Czechia that pulls at your heartstrings. Castles everywhere you look. Ever felt like you're tripping over history? The Czech Republic has more castles than anywhere in Europe, over 2,000, from grand fortresses to crumbling ruins, per Czech tourism. Beyond Prague Castle, there's Karlsten, a Gothic gem, and Český Krumlov's Renaissance beauty, each drawing 500,000 visitors in 2024. These aren't just relics, they're the backbone of life in Czechia, hosting festivals, weddings, and ghost tours. The cost of living near these sites is low. Rural homes average $800 a month, compared to Prague's $1,200. The culture of Czechia weaves these castles into daily life, with locals picnicking in their shadows. In our world, where history is often bulldozed for condos, Czechia's obsession with preservation feels like a quiet revolt. The hidden gems of Czechia include lesser-known castles like Hluboka, a white fairy tale chateau. The people of Czechia live among these stones, their stories etched in walls older than most nations. This travel documentary wanders these grounds, where every turret whispers of knights and kings, making you wish our world valued its past half as much. The mushroom hunting craze. What if a whole country emptied out to hunt mushrooms? Come autumn, Czechs grab wicker baskets and rubber boots, flooding forests to pick wild mushrooms. It's not a hobby, it's a national pastime. With 60% of Czechs participating, per a 2024 survey. On St. Wenceslas Day, September 28th, cities like Prague feel deserted as families forage. The Hall Bolides, chanterelles ends up in soups and sauces, a winter staple. This tradition, rooted in Slavic heritage, contrasts with our grab-and-go food culture. Daily life in Czechia includes drying mushrooms on kitchen counters, a ritual as Czech as beer. The cost of living benefits mushrooms are free, while store-bought ones run $5 a pound. The people of Czechia share foraging spots like family secrets, a bond with nature we've lost to supermarkets. In our world, where organic is a marketing ploy, Czechia's forests are a reminder of simpler times. This travel documentary follows the mushroom trail, a hidden gem of Czechia that's as much about community as it is about food. The polka's Czech roots. Ever danced a polka and wondered where it came from? Spoiler, it's Czech. Born in 1834 in Tynek nad Labem, about 50 kilometers from Prague, the polka swept ballrooms from Vienna to Paris. Per Czech cultural records, its name might come from polka, meaning half, for its quick half-step rhythm. By the 1840s, it was a global craze, and today, Czech festivals like Pilsen's keep it alive, drawing 10,000 dancers in 2024. The culture of Czechia embraces this lively dance, a contrast to our twerking trends. Daily life in Czechia might include a polka lesson at a village hall, where kids and grandparents move as one. The people of Czechia dance with pride. Their steps a middle finger to our disposable pop culture. In a world where trends die in a week, the polka's endurance is a quiet triumph. The hidden gems of Czechia include these dance floors, where joy doesn't need a TikTok filter. This travel documentary sways to the polka's beat, a rhythm that's outlasted empires. The safest country you've never considered. What makes a country feel like a warm hug? The Czech Republic ranks as the 7th safest country globally for the 2024 Global Peace Index, with low crime rates and a stable government. Prague streets, even at midnight, buzz with tourists and locals, unafraid. In 2023, the country reported just 2.2 violent crimes per 1,000 people, compared to the US's 3.8. The cost of living in Prague, $1,200 monthly for a single person, buys you this peace, a bargain compared to London's $2,000. The daily life in Czechia feels relaxed, with trams running on time and strangers offering a Dobrý den greeting. The culture of Czechia values manners, a nod to respect for your elders' roots. In our world, where fear often headlines, Czechia's calm is a hidden gem. The people of Czechia live without the paranoia that grips so many nations, a lesson in trust we could all learn. This travel documentary basks in that safety, a reminder that some places still feel like home, even to a stranger. A literary legacy that haunts. Ever read a book that felt like a punch to the soul? Prague birthed Franz Kafka, whose tales of alienation still haunt us. Born in 1883, Kafka wrote The Metamorphosis and The Trial in this city, his angst mirroring its foggy streets. Today, Prague's Kafka Museum draws 150,000 visitors yearly. Per 2024 data, its exhibits as unsettling as his prose. The culture of Czechia reveres writers. Václav Havel, a playwright, became president in 1989. Bookshops line Prague's alleys, and literary cafes hum with debate. In 2023, Czechs bought 15 million books, a third nonfiction, per industry stats. Daily life in Czechia includes reading on trams, a habit our phone-obsessed world could envy. The people of Czechia treat words like treasures, a hidden gem in a land of castles. The cost of living here affords time for thought. Coffee and a book cost less than $5. This travel documentary lingers in Prague's cafes, where Kafka's ghost reminds us that stories can outlive empires. The art of crystal and glass. Ever held a glass so delicate it felt like air? Czech crystal, crafted since the 13th century, is world famous, with brands like Moser fetching $500 for a single goblet in 2024. In towns like Nový Bor, artisans use 600-year-old techniques, blowing glass by hand. The industry employs 10,000 Czechs, per government data, and exports $1 billion annually. Prague shops glitter with crystal chandeliers, a nod to the culture of Czechia, where beauty is a craft, not a filter. The daily life in Czechia might include a glassblower shaping molten art, a skill passed down generations. The hidden gems of Czechia shine in these workshops, where patience trumps mass production. In our world of cheap disposables, Czech crystal is a rebellion, each piece a story of fire and skill. The people of Czechia take pride in this legacy, their hands creating what machines never could. This travel documentary marvels at the glow, a reminder that some things are worth doing the hard way. The Velvet Revolution's quiet power. What if a revolution didn't need guns, just people who refused to stay silent? In 1989, the Velvet Revolution toppled Czech communism in weeks, with nonviolent protests led by students and artists. Over 500,000 marched in Prague's Wenceslas Square, per historical records, chanting for freedom. Václav Havel, a dissident playwright, became president, a fairy tale ending. In 2024, the anniversary draws 100,000 to commemorate, with candles and songs. The culture of Czechia cherishes this bloodless victory, a contrast to our polarized shouting matches. The daily life in Czechia includes passing memorials to 1989, like the plaques on Národní Street. The people of Czechia carry this pride quietly, a hidden gem of resilience. The cost of living free was paid in courage, not cash. In a world where change often comes with chaos, Czechia's revolution feels like a miracle. This travel documentary stands in that square, where the air still hums with the power of voices united. A land of hidden natural wonders. Ever hiked a forest that felt like a secret only you knew? Czechia's landscapes, from Bohemian Switzerland's sandstone arches to Moravia's vineyards, are nature's masterpieces. Bohemian Switzerland National Park, near Germany, drew 1 million hikers in 2024 per park records. It's Pravsika Gate, the largest sandstone arch in Europe. Moravia's wine region produces 200 million liters annually, with tastings costing $10. The daily life in Czechia includes weekend escapes to these wilds, a habit our urban sprawl has forgotten. The culture of Czechia ties land to identify locals garden, ski, or canoe with ease. The cost of living in rural Czechia, $600 monthly, makes this accessible. The hidden gems of Czechia are these trails and rivers, where the people of Czechia find peace. In our world, where nature is often a hashtag, Czechia's wilds are a call to unplug. This travel documentary ends here, in forests that whisper of a life lived close to the earth. A country that stays with you. The Czech Republic isn't just a place you visit, it's a place that lingers, like a song you can't unhear. These 15 facts, from beer cheaper than water to revolutions won with words, paint a picture of a nation that's both ancient and defiant. Life in Czechia feels like a rebuke to our frantic, disposable world, where castles outlast empires and puppets tell grown-up tales. The people of Czechia, with their dark humor and quiet pride, remind us that progress doesn't mean forgetting who you are. As I sit here, far from Prague's spires, I'm struck by a pang of regret for a world that's lost the art of slowness, of crafting, of standing firm. This travel documentary is my love letter to Czechia, a land that's taught me more in a week than most places do in a lifetime. What surprised you most? Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and let's keep Czechia's story alive. The hidden gems of this world are fading. Let's talk about them before they're gone.